Welcome back. This is footage from Torchlight II beta. I was able to get in on one of the beta weekends, and I thought that I'd check it out. Torchlight II is a game that I'm really looking forward to playing. I enjoyed Torchlight I, and I like the development ethics, I'd say, of the developers and how they develop their games and how they decide which features they want to get in the game. The founder, two of the people from the old Vinvidi Blizzard North, is behind this. None of the original Blizzard players or developers were in Diablo III. They had left. Everybody had sort of scattered long since, and the developers behind this, Runic Games, decided that they wanted to do their own, and ironically, they're making an MMO too, based on Torchlight, and they decided they were going to do this after Torchlight I, but decided to release Torchlight II in between so that players had something to do, because MMOs are they are time consuming, and they want to do it right. So the game is for PC, and they will be releasing a Mac version. They will not be doing a console port of this. They just kind of learned their lesson with Torchlight I. Torchlight I had a set of memory requirements on the PC, and to do it, to port it over, they had to go through a lot of trouble to get it to work on the console. Keeping that in mind, those optimizations in mind, in Torchlight II, they would not be able to, it would take a lot of work, and they decided that they would just prefer to work on something else than to do a port. So it will not be getting on a console. Let's see, what else? There is going to be multiplayer and LAN, customizable characters, and mods, which I love about this game, because the mods extend the life of the game, similar to like Dragon Age or, you know, Mass Effect, or, you know, whatnot, or even going all the way back like Baldur's Gate or Neverwinter Nights. Your game is Skyrim is another good example. Your game is extended with the mods. So I love that. I absolutely love that. And similar to Diablo III, when you beat the game, you can go through the game again. You can do that with Torchlight II, and you will have a greater difficulty. Now, what I'm unsure about, in Diablo III, the higher you go up, the more it is necessary to group up with other people. You cannot continue on solo. And I'm hoping Torchlight isn't like that, because I just prefer that the fight get harder. I don't want to be forced. To me, grouping with people doesn't make it more challenging, per se. I guess it does have its challenges, but yeah, I'd prefer, when I don't want progressing to be dependent on grouping. Now, since I've mentioned Diablo, let's get past the Diablo comparison. The two games, they're both dungeon crawlers. Yes, that is true. But one is a $20 game and one is a $60 game. One has been in development for 2 years or so. One has been in development for a decade. You're going to have different expectations, particularly profit-wise, when you have that big of a difference. But let's take a look at, very briefly, a regular trash mob, you know, kill in Diablo. So having seen a little bit of Torchlight II, let's take a little bit a look at Diablo, and then we'll get back to this comparison, because I really don't think, I think it's like comparing apples and oranges personally, but yeah, let's take a look. This is your regular, ordinary, oh shit, get out the green, ordinary trash mob stuff. This is not like a legendary boss or anything like that. Now look at what's going on. What's going on in the background of the game, and it has like that epic feel when you kill things. I better have that epic feel for $60. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so there you see the difference, a very glimpse of the difference. So when you're paying $60, there better be, I mean, that's like Hondas and BMWs. Hondas and BMWs are both great cars, but when you're paying more for something, you have a higher expectation. And of course, I mean, if you're selling BMWs, then you have to sell X amount to even get a profit. I mean, to break even, let alone a profit. So I think Torchlight II does a very good job for what it is. I enjoyed playing in the beta, and I'm looking forward to playing it upon release. It's $20, and right now I'll put a link in the description. There is a deal going on Steam where if you pre-order the game, you will get Torchlight I for free. Now the game has pets, as always. Just like here, I have the panther. I have the panther. I love panthers. That's like my favorite big cat. And you are unable to import your character from Torchlight I, so yeah, you can't do that. Now, one thing that I like about Torchlight II is that it does have a co-op so that you can play with your friends. But have you ever experienced when you play with your friends, you're grouped with 4 people, let's say, and the game will scale based on how many people are in your party, even though those party members aren't anywhere near you? So if, let's say, for instance, your partner dies and they have to run back or whatever, and you're left fighting those extra hard mobs. Well, in Torchlight II, the game scales based on the proximity of the players to you, not how many players are grouped in your party. So I really like that. There are 3 full acts, 1 boss act, and they estimate that it'll take about 30 hours to complete the game, the main, storyline, if you ignore side quests and exploration, which I think is damn good for $20. When you beat the game, they estimate that you'll be around level 50. There will be a cap of level 100 on the game, but inevitably somebody's going to make a mod to increase that. And the enchanting and spells has been redone. A lot of work graphically and to improve the graphics and the depth of the dungeons and the world. Music, lots of improvements. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I have to say, I am. Like I said, I don't think that it's a fair comparison to compare it to Diablo, because although they're dungeon crawlers, simply due to the price, you're going to have different expectations. And I don't think that it's fair to put a $60 game expectation on a $20 game. I really don't. So, yeah. I'm liking this. I definitely am. One thing that I'm looking forward to, also with Torchlight, I think would go well with it, particularly if you're an Eve player, is Guild Wars 2. I know. Don't even say anything. I had said that I really wasn't feeling Guild Wars 2 because I really didn't know a lot about it. None of my friends play it. So I have not played Guild Wars 1, but thanks to Eve players cluing me in, I learned a lot about Guild Wars 2, and I saw some streams, and I think I'm going to pre-order it and try to get into the next beta weekend, which I think is June 8th through the 10th, something like that. So I'm going to try to do that. It depends on what I'm doing that week, because that's my birthday weekend. So I can't promise, but we'll see. But I am definitely, I think that Torchlight being $20, I mean, if you're cost, conscious, Guild Wars 2 is a one-time purchase, $60, but you don't have a monthly fee. And then Eve, with your monthly fee, skill-based, you can easily play other games and not get burnt out. One of the biggest complaints I get about Eve from veteran players is that when they look at my videos, they realize how they miss those moments. They don't have that fun anymore. And I've noticed that a lot of people, they sit online. I mean, they're online in Eve all the time. And because Eve doesn't automatically disconnect you. So you can be in there, I guess, until reset, basically, daily. And I could see if you spend that much time in the game, like for a while, I played WoW a lot, and then I got tired. I wasn't getting any enjoyment out of it. So I really think that to make sure that you don't get stale in games, it's good to play other games if you can afford it. And there's a lot of, like free games. Like, I'd like to get into League of Legends. I'm intimidated by it, but I'd like to. And ironically, I was talking to Real Arcalian. He's just like the awesome. And he sends me videos and whatnots of people's gameplay, which I enjoy watching. If you know cool people, by all means, let me know, because I really would like to. One of the things that I used to do was use my, I don't want to say the exposure that I have to showcase others. I've always done that. So if you know cool people, I'd be more than happy to do that. But anyway, we were looking at gameplay. I was looking at gameplay in this video. It's a Skyrim video. And no, I still have not played my Skyrim. And a lot of the stuff would have never have happened with my gameplay, because I never do anything evil. Have you noticed that? Horrible. So my next project is going to be, I think it's going to be something like being evil in WoW, so I can learn how to be a bitch in Eve. Not to be mean to people, but like, for instance, here's a very good example. Way back, I leveled on a PvP server in WoW. I did not gank anybody, because to me, I just didn't feel that it was a fair fight. So Eve PvP is not as appealing to me, because a lot of the PvP that goes on in Eve is ganking. People get high off of the ganking, and I don't. It doesn't, I prefer a fair fight where we're, I don't want to say equally skilled, but if I see somebody that's weaker than me, I don't get pleasure out of beating them. I just don't. To me, that's not, and I'm not condemning anybody that does, but I would feel like the biggest hypocrite if I were to say, yeah, I'm a pimp PvPer in Eve, and everything that I did was I just preyed on the weak. To me, that's not a skilled PvPer. A skilled PvPer can fight someone equally as skilled as them and win consistently. So I don't know. I mean, like, one of the comments on the Eve video was, one of my Eve videos was, I should do a 1,000-person roam in Eve in 0-0, and I'm like, when does that happen? One of the things that I loved about Jita Burn was seeing that many people in one area at the same time. So where are these large fleets happening in Eve on a regular basis outside of Goon? I mean, outside of Goon, who's big enough to do something like that? So, I don't know. I mean, I've been watching streams, and I enjoy watching Eve streams because it exposes me to areas and parts of the games that I have not seen, and that in itself inspires me to see those said areas. But and put in the skills, you know, to be able to do it. But I just see mostly people roaming, looking for stuff, or they're getting ganked. So I don't know. And there was, ironically, and here I am talking about Eve, and let me stop talking about Eve. I always end up talking about that. I don't know why. So anyway, yeah, what I was saying was that I think Torchlight is a good game to play along with. And I'm not downing Diablo. Diablo is a very fun game. I feel epic when I fight, particularly when I do a boss fight. Like Belial. Oh, you'll be seeing a video coming up about my Belial fight. And yeah, but at the end of it, I was like, you know, I felt like awesome. And like I said, for $60, that's how I intend to feel. But I was disappointed that people were beating Diablo at level 30 when the game goes up to 60, and then you just crawl the same places over and over and over and over again. I was very disappointed with that. I was expecting... I don't know. I don't know why I was expecting. I mean, there's no point in saying the game goes to level 60. When you hear the game goes to level 60, they don't say that, well, you'll beat it at 30. And then you have to go back over and over again. I have not finished on normal yet. But the truth of the matter is that I'm not one to go back and do something if I've already done it. So once I beat Diablo, unless I haven't unlocked the unicorn level or something, I'm probably done. I don't feel the need. It's going to go on the back burner to something new. And so what I'm hoping is that by that point, hopefully I'll be able actively in the Guild Wars 2 beta, or I will be I'm resuming my Dragon Age Origins Let's Play, because I want to finish that game, and I'd like to ideally finish it before Guild Wars 2 come out. I'd like to do that because it's been almost a year, and now that I have good internet and I've upgraded my computer since then, past the pneumonia that I had since then, so I'm ready to pick that up. And what I love about it is that I don't remember what was happening, so I'm going to get in that game in the middle of a storyline and just have fun. Now, one thing I do have to admit, did you see that identify scroll? I was saddened to see the identify scroll. One thing that I was happy about with Diablo 3 was that there was no identify scroll. When I get epic loot and I can't see what it is because I don't have a scroll, I love the fact you can just right click and just, you know, find out what it is. So I'm hoping that my identify scroll drops are high, so I don't have any issues. So anyway, this is a look at Torchlight 2, and like I said, I'm definitely going to be looking forward to it. And you know, what would be really cool is once it's launched is to maybe, you know, stream some gameplay with some peeps or whatnot. I've been thinking about what it is that I want to stream, and I'm thinking more, there are topics that I want to talk about, because many of you know I used to own a gaming community, and there are issues that I'd like to talk about while I'm doing something else. So I may just, you know, log on, talk about what I'm talking about, interact with people while I'm playing whatever, maybe group with some people. But as far as streamers are playing for hours and hours and hours on end, I don't know, I have to see. I like to game switch a lot. Like, I'll play Diablo for, you know, like 45 minutes or an hour. Then I might get into WoW, then I might get into Eve and chat with people, and not necessarily playing, but I'm just chatting. And then I might go back, you know, and I don't know how that does with streams per se. As a game hopper, I don't know. So, okay, boss killed. And I got a scroll of whatever that is. Quest complete. So let's turn this in. One thing I can say is that I feel like I go through this faster. Portal looks like Diablo 3, I know. So yeah, that's it. So will you be playing Torchlight 2? Yeah? Yes? No? I know, everybody's looking forward to Guild Wars 2. But other than Guild Wars 2 and Torchlight 2, what are you guys looking forward to? Have you beat Diablo 3? Tell me what you're playing. I'm curious what you're playing. So with that, I'm out. See you in the next one.